Welcome to ENN. I'm Mara Siriani.
And I'm Anthony Lopinto, and this is your weekly news update. Contract negotiations between the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education and the faculty at the system's 14 schools could lead to a system-wide faculty strike in the next few weeks, affecting 6,000 faculty and 150,000 students. Faculty will vote the week of November 12th to authorize APSCUF leadership to call for a strike if necessary. APSCUF faculty members have been working without a contract since June 30th, 2011, and last year professors took a pay freeze. Negotiation holdups include a 35% pay cut for temporary faculty, healthcare benefits for retired faculty, and discussions over class sizes. PASSHE Chancellor Dr. John Kavanaugh turned down an offer for binding arbitration on October 15th. This ruled out the opportunity for both APSCUF and PASSHE to take their grievances to a third-party mediator.
Faculty are resolved, they are prepared, and they don't want to strike. Because you have to realize for faculty, if we go on strike, we're locked off campus.
A recent renovation of an on-campus resource allows students to dig deeper into their past. The new Anthropological Research Center and Archaeology Lab, located in room 127 of Hendricks Hall, offers a large collection of archaeological and anthropological materials like fossil, hominids, forensic anthropology casts, and human relations area files. According to Dr. Lenore Barbian, during the center's open hours, students will be able to use the materials for research and even contribute to cataloging.
There's lots of studies that you can do. You can learn more about human variation and human anatomy, do those as advanced projects, or just if they have an interest, maybe some of our art students would be interested in using them, and they're going to be here and available for students.
Edinboro went country this weekend. Justin Moore, an up-and-coming country artist, visited campus on Sunday. Moore, who grew up in a small town in Arkansas, made the climb to the Nashville country scene with hits like Small Town USA and If Heaven Wasn't So Far Away. ETV's Brian Dybel spoke with Justin about what it's like to make it big.
I grew up in a town 300 people, so to get to do this is mind-boggling to me. I mean, I didn't grow up expecting this to happen or even wanting this to happen. It just kind of did. It's coming from where I came from to doing this right now has proven to me it happens to real people. Everybody always goes, "Man, you're normal." I'm going, "Yeah, I just have a really cool job. We've been very fortunate."
Be sure to stay tuned because coming up we have entertainment and global news.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
You're on your way to meet up with friends, but you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. Five seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting while driving. Make sure you get where you're going.
With the November 6th election fast approaching, ETV's Jessica Coons had a chance to sit down with state representative candidate Jason White, who would represent the 5th District.
My name is Jessica Coons, and I'm here with Jason White, Democratic candidate for the 5th District State Representative seat. Thank you for being here, Mr. White.
Thank you, Jessica.
And so I want to talk a little bit. The election is just over a week away. And can you just give us an overview of what the election season has been like so far for you?
Yeah, it's been quite hectic, actually. Things come up real quickly, and you have to deal with situations that nothing of a major importance, but important enough that you have to deal with it right away. Had a great time though, going around talking to people and meeting everybody that I can. and getting to talk to nice people like yourself. So.
Have you been able to meet a lot of college students from Edinboro?
I've met a few, not an overwhelming number of them, but that I'd really like to get an opportunity to meet more of them. This election is really it's going to take its toll on them if we don't get out and vote for the right people. So I'd like to really get a chance to meet more of them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, being on a college campus, a big topic is obviously education, and we have budget cuts. And now we have issues with contract negotiations. And so where do you stand among all of that, among these issues that are hot button issues for college students?
Right. Well, first of all, I think we need to step back and restore the funding to higher education. It's detrimental to our future if we don't have people going to college at an affordable rate. Right now people are coming out of college with large debt, and we don't need to make that burden more on them. As far as the contract negotiations go, I think it's important that they reach an amicable agreement, and the current situation is they're taking a vote on authorizing a strike. They're not actually going on strike, and I think that's an important thing to note. This is just to, try to improve the negotiation process, I think.
And you said coming out of college in debt, and can you expand a little bit? College students are coming out in debt and looking for jobs, and so how does that tie into these education issues?
Well, for starters, a lot of teachers are being laid off, and a lot of the support staff are being laid off with these budget cuts. And so that has an immediate economic impact. It also has an impact on people searching for jobs, because if you're a teacher and you're looking for a job, but all of these teachers are getting laid off, your chances are much smaller that you're going to find a job in that area. Secondly, I think we need a partnership between colleges and technical schools and whatnot, so that we can, and business, to find out what their needs are, so that we can properly prepare students to take the jobs that are in demand.
Absolutely. Now, what are some other issues that affect this district that you would look to change or remedy if you were in office?
Well, we also see the cuts to human services, and it's one of the roles of government is to care for the citizens who can't care for themselves, to stand up for the ones that can't stand up for themselves. That's also another big issue. Also, recently we've heard about the policy that had changed Erie County into a rural from an urban county, and that also affects funding to the human services. So now hopefully we can get that turned around. Hopefully we can turn around the cuts and restore the budget to where it should be.
And you mentioned standing up for people who can't stand up for themselves, and I know that volunteering and participating in the community is really important to you. Why do you think that's so important?
Well, one of the things that, there is a lot of money going out to human services, but there are areas that the state just can't cover. So when someone can volunteer and do something more for the community, that's always helpful to the people that, like I said, can't stand up for themselves or need some help, need a hand up.
And we were talking a little bit before the interview about college students and getting out there and voting. Why should college students be invested in this election? Not just the presidential election, but locally as well.
Right. Well, I think it's fundamental to note that some people believe that we should be paying for college on our own. That if you should borrow the money from your parents, or that you should take a summer job or a part-time job to pay for college while you're going there. I don't believe that. I think that we need financial assistance. I mean, when someone has gone to Cal State or Southern Cal, whatever, or to Edinboro, they can't. It's hard to say, well, you should be paying for that as you go. We need financial assistance to help us get through that. And when you come out of college, you shouldn't have a debt that's as large as owning a mortgage. So I believe that we really, it's really important that the college students understand how important it is to get out there and vote, and to make sure that the people that you're voting for have your interests in mind. You know, that they stand for higher education, that they stand for basic education, and they stand for the future. It's important that we invest in the future.
And what is the last thing that you want people to take away from seeing this, and when they head to the polls next week, what do you want them to know? Okay, well, this particular district is going to be decided, I believe, by a few hundred votes. It's going to be the closest election this seat has ever seen. This year you have two very stark choices. You have, you know, a guy that believes that that the gas and oil industry should be allowed to have free reign over our lands. I believe that we should take a more cautious approach. You have a guy that believes that education should be paid for out of your pocket. I believe that we should provide financial assistance. So they're two very stark differences, and I think that it's very important that we get out and vote, because every vote will count. Alrighty, well, anything else you'd like to add? I think we've pretty well covered it. Alrighty, well, good luck in the race next week. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. No problem. Thank you for watching.
ETV reached out to White's opponent, Edinboro Mayor Greg Lucas, but we were unable to schedule an interview in time for this taping. Stay tuned, because coming up we have entertainment and global news.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Welcome to Entertainment News. I'm Andriana Dulce. Natina Reed, member of the R&B group Black and star of the 2000 film Bring It On, has died at the age of 32 Saturday evening after being struck by a car in Georgia. Gwinnett Police Department said the driver hit Reed, called 911 immediately, and she was pronounced dead 29 minutes later. The driver was determined to not be at fault, and charges are pending. Reed is survived by her 10-year-old son, Trent Brown. Rapper Lil Wayne has suffered from 2 seizures this past week. Wayne had to make an emergency landing over Texas in his private plane on Thursday after he suffered from a seizure mid-flight and was admitted to the hospital. On Friday, the plane made another emergency landing over Louisiana after suffering another seizure. He has been urged not to fly and is currently staying at his mother's house in Los Angeles. Divorce seems to be a common trend in Simpson family, as Jessica Simpson's parents, Tina and Joe, have officially filed for divorce after 34 years. A summer fling has ended for country star Taylor Swift and Connor Kennedy. The breakup was amicable and all within the distance, especially with Taylor's non-stop work schedule due to the release of her new album, Red. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for global news.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. And together as one we'll start to see some change.
Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people. Connected, interdependent, united. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me.
Feed the pig.
Welcome to Global News. I'm Bianca Johnson. Nearly 50 aftershocks were recorded as a result of the 7.7 magnitude earthquake that affected the Queen Charlotte Islands off Canada's coast on the Saturday night. The largest aftershock was measured at an intense 6.3. It happened just after 8 p.m. and it was felt across a wide area in British Columbia, both on its Pacific Islands and on its mainland. Luckily, damages and risks were at a low level, but people in those areas were still asked to take precaution. A tsunami warning was sent out to British Columbia, southern Alaska, and Hawaii, but it was later downgraded to an advisory warning for Hawaii and canceled British Columbia and Alaska. 11 arrests were made Saturday by the Indonesian anti-terror squad. The suspects were believed to belong in a local group of Islamic extremists. Police said they discovered bombs, ammunition, as well as targets, which included the American Embassy. Official with Indonesia's National Police Force said the suspects were a part of a new terror group that calls itself the Sunni Movement for Indonesian Society. It was not known how close the militants were to carrying out the attacks. Coming up next, we have weather, followed by sports.
Bring this sweet.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Hello everyone, I'm Dorian Churn, and let's take a look at this week's weather forecast. And I hope you have one of these handy because you're going to need it for this week. Boy, look at this. Nothing but rain, heavy rain showers. Highs 41 with a low of 40 degrees. On Tuesday, showers in the area with rain showers, highs 48 with a low of 38 degrees. On Wednesday, hump day everyone, showers in the area with wet snowflakes, a bit more inland, highs 44 with a low of 40 degrees. On Thursday, more showers, none but rain this week folks, highs 43 with a low of 38 degrees. And on Friday, the last day of the school week, we got a few showers in the area, highs 40 degrees with a low of 38 degrees. And let's take a look at this week's trivia question. Cold air is heavier than warm air. True or false? 50-50. Well, let's take a look at today's trivia question answer. It is true. Yes, cold air drops a lot faster than warm air. Sadly, we're going to be in that trend for the rest of this week. So just make sure you have one of these and you'll be all set and ready to go. I'm Dorian Churn, and that's this week's weather forecast.
Hey, good game. Oh, there we go.
Great game, man.
Let's go get a win!
This year's MVP goes to Jake.
Take steroids and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk. Don't be an asterisk.
Hello and welcome to ENN Sports. I'm Patrick Nuzzo. The Fighting Scots football team fell to 3-5 after a 24-21 loss to Mercyhurst this past weekend. After going down 14-0 early in the game, the Scots managed to score 21 unanswered points thanks to a blocked punt return for a touchdown and 2 touchdowns from Cody Harris. Unfortunately, the defense couldn't keep the lead as they gave up 10 points in the fourth quarter. Hurst running back Brandon Brown Dukes rushed for 64 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the game winner with 6:36 left in the fourth quarter. Cody Harris went 16 of 27 for 88 yards and added a career-high 77 rushing yards. The Scots traveled to Clarion this weekend and finished out the season at home against Kutztown. The women's soccer team finished their season on a solid note with a 4-1 win over Mansfield on Saturday. The victory put their record at 12-3-2 and clinched a 4th seed in the PSAC playoffs for the ladies, giving them home field advantage for the quarterfinal game. That game will be played at 1 p.m. on Thursday at Sox Harrison Stadium and is a rematch against Kutztown. The teams had one prior meeting this year, with Edinboro coming out on top 3-2 in the 99th minute. If the ladies win, they will move on to the semifinals on Saturday. Finally, the women's volleyball team has fallen to 8-20 on the year after losses at Cal and IUP. The ladies have only won 3 sets in their last 4 matches as they continue to struggle on the court. Mara Maycock continues to lead in kills with 254, while Tabitha Meeks follows behind at 252. The Scots look to get back on the winning trail with games against Mercyhurst and Gannon. That's all I have for you this week. Tune in next week for more Fighting Scots sports coverage. For ENN Sports, I'm Patrick Nuzzo.
I got no pulse for losing. Shocking. Drives it road all the time. Just had a few drinks. Just can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear. We're just buzzed. Just buzzed. You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right. This isn't happening. He'll be fine.
I feel good.
Really? No, not really.
Buzz driving. Clear. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shocking.
Hey, good game.
Oh, there we go.
Great game, man.
Let's go get a win!
This year's MVP goes to Jake.
Take steroids and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk. Don't be an asterisk.
That's all we have for you this week. Thanks for watching. Also, feel free to tweet us any story ideas at Borough Television or email at us at edinborotv@gmail.com.
No!